G'day YouTube, just a video of my solar system I installed on my property here in rural Queensland. I've got a small acreage here, 7 acres. I've got a mate installing solar at the moment. He's sent me like a million questions about it, so I thought I'd do a video because this is my third solar system, so I'm sort of a little bit knowledgeable about system size and what you sort of need at the moment for solar. So this is a 6.5 kilowatt worth of panels, and it's a 5 kilowatt inverter, so the efficiency of the panels isn't 100%, which is why you have more panels than your inverter. And on a sunny day it'll produce constant 5 kilowatts all day long. I'm not off-grid entirely, it's a grid tie inverter, so basically the grid supports my power at night. So I feed back surplus energy through the day and then I draw from the grid at night. I'm actually charged a higher rate. I think it's 24 cents per kilowatt hour. I've got it right here actually. Anyway, I'm paying more for the grid energy at night, but I'm generating surplus through the day. So with air cons running all the time, I've got 2 air cons on the property. They're pretty much going 24/7. And I'll show you my bill here. This is 3 months, so $168 for 3 months. So it's about $44-45 a month I'm paying, but bear in mind I've got my air cons running constantly, and when I go out the dogs are in the main bedroom and we leave an air con on low for them, so it's running all the time, the air conditioning, so it's pretty good really. You can't really justify batteries with that because then you've got to work out, well, 3 months, $170. My battery bank would have to cost, you know, 2 years or 3 years worth of that cost, which is going to be more than that if you want a battery bank that lasts. And obviously you're going to have to replace it after maybe 12 years. They say 8 to 10 years, but you maybe get 12, 15, a bit longer if you want to use your batteries a bit longer if you're talking lithium ion. So I can't justify the batteries at the moment. I have a separate breaker box there which I can hook a generator up to, so I can actually flick the breaker in the fuse box and put a generator there, and I'm totally off grid. I had that wired in. That was a little bit of money to get that wired in, but we had blackouts out here which don't seem to be a problem now. I think they've fixed it, but I do have that ability to just go completely off grid if I want to. I've got a small inverter generator there. It's 3.5 kilowatt inverter generator, just a Chinese one I bought, and it does the whole house with 2 freezers, a fridge. We've got a 75-inch TV, and it'll even run one aircon. It won't run both, it will run one. So just a quick video on my solar system. It cost me $3,800, I think it was $3,850 installed, and as I said, I've recently put 2 of these on different houses. I've got a tenanted house with this same system, and this one obviously, and then the one I had before was 2.4 kilowatt, and it was a lot smaller because I was getting 54 cents per kilowatt hour with a government scheme rebate, so I was getting like triple the cost of the power from the government. Now they can that rebate, and I'm now getting, I think it's 12 cents. 12 cents I get back. Just reading here. Sorry, 9.39 cents. I think it's 24 cents per kilowatt hour I'm paying. So it's nearly triple, because I'm generating, you know, 30 to 35 on a sunny day. Going back into the grid, I'm only using 8 or so. I'm only paying for that little bit of excess power I'm using. So if you have batteries, you're obviously using 100% of that power, which would be better, but you've got to justify the battery bank, paying for the battery bank as well, which I can't justify it at the moment. If my bill was $600-700, I would get batteries, but for the moment, and probably a lot of people, if you just get a really big solar system, grid tie solar system, it will do you. It's actually the best system, but most cost efficient system you can get at the moment. Anyway, thanks for watching. Just thought I'd do a quick video about it, and click like and subscribe if you found this useful. Thank you. Just thought I'd add an addendum. Here's my power usage going from December to now. So December's our hottest. December, January, sort of summer, peak of summer. Now we're going into autumn, which is cooler. So you can see what I'm generating, and the little dips are generally clouds when it's overcast. But a perfect day, you'll get like a nice curve like that. That's just about a perfect day. So you can see what I'm generating summer going into autumn. Summer's obviously the best month for generating power. And the reason I'm getting the 9 cents per kilowatt hour is because we've only got one power provider here, so they've sort of got a monopoly, so they give us a shitty feed-in rate, which is the reason for that. So other places you'll get maybe 14, even 16 cents feed-in, so capital city's a lot better. So I went back through my reading, and that was the best. I went back a fair way and I found a 37.5 day. I remember seeing the 38.5, I think, was the highest. But your average, on a hot day is probably more like 30, 32. Overcast, you're looking at 20, 22, something like that. And, you get quite a variation there. So I'm using about 16 or 17 through the day, I believe. So anyway, I just thought I'd put these at the end to explain why I'm only getting 9 cents per kilowatt. Probably a lot of people saying I get double that or whatever. You might, depending on if there's a lot of power providers where you are, you will get more. So the more competition obviously means there'll be higher prices for the feed-in rate. My original feed-in rate years ago was 54 cents, so I only had a 2.4 kilowatt system. Back then that was big. That's sort of the minimum system. Now is sort of like 5-6 kilowatt is sort of standard, what everyone's getting. And I was getting like the 54 cents. Now I'm back at 9 just because of where I am. But because I'm generating so much surplus power, I'm only getting a small bill. So, I mean, $50, or not even, $45 a month. That's why I can't justify batteries. Batteries, parts and installation. So you got to say the battery bank cost me, if I just use lithium batteries and hook them up in series, parallel, whatever, I might pay a couple of grand for the batteries. Then I've got to install them. That's probably another $1,000, $1,200 to get them installed. Inverter, there's an inverter cost as well. That's probably another $1,000 or $1,500 for a charge controller inverter, all that sort of stuff. So you're looking at around really 5 to install batteries minimum. You can go like nickel iron. There's nickel iron batteries which cost you might spend 10 to 15 on a nickel iron bank, which will last you forever, but you've still got to justify that $10 or $15,000. So if I'm spending $45 a month, you divide the 10 grand by 44, by $44 or $45. You look at how many months I've got to pay back that battery bank, so it isn't really cost effective. So basically, I'm going to just keep paying them $50 a month or so until my bill rises to a point where I can actually justify the battery bank, and then I will do that. And I think a lot of people will find they're in the same boat. If you get a big 3-phase system, like a 10 kilowatt system, you might even get a bill credit, or say you would get a bill credit. My mate's in Melbourne, so he's got a lot of overcast days, so he may not. It just depends how much he uses. But certainly when the clouds go over, you can see by those graphs that they reduce your solar generating capacity quite substantially, which is why a lot of people say solar is not really a good power source for the grid, which it isn't, because as soon as the clouds come over, you need to ramp up the coal and everything else. So that's why that is. So, 6.5 kilowatt will probably do most households. If you've got a lot of overcast days, you probably need to double that, maybe 10, 12 kilowatt on a 3-phase system to have it sort of pay for itself so you don't have a bill. Just one final thing I'll add. I keep adding to these videos, as I always do it. I remember stuff later. The reason I'm getting power generating from 8 o'clock is because I've got high gum trees on either side of the property, so they're very, very high trees, and I get shade from around about 4 onwards. Now that changes a little bit from summer to winter because the way the sun goes changes. I get a bit better in the summer. So that I'm probably losing about 2.5 to 3 hours of decent power generation. So just keep that in mind, that most places will start getting the sun from like 6:30, even 6:15 in the morning. I'm sort of not getting much before 8. So I'm losing about 3 hours just because of these gum trees, which is the same as clouds essentially. Anyway, thanks for watching. Click like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.